Welcome to the 2025 Aviatitska Pot, the aviation pilgrimage at Pardubice.
To je vlajka 43. výsadkového vstupu z nedaleké Chrudimi.
Opening the flying display was the Czech Air Force with this Kasa 295 medium transport aircraft.
Armády České republiky. Její posádka se s námi loučí tím klasickým leteckým pozdravem, zamáváním. My posádce děkujeme za představení.
This was followed a bit later by this pair of Czech Gripens coming over straight from their home base at Čáslav, buzzing the airfield a few times. The show was the first opportunity to see the new replica of the Blériot 11 in the air in some very wet and gusty conditions. On Sunday at the show, the aircraft, the Pardubice native Jan Kaspar, the first Czech pilot, flew in 1910.
Teď se odlepil od země tady pardubického letiště, si při návštěvě expozice připraven do letuschopného stavu. A tak sami můžete vidět, že i v těch dnešních náročných podmínkách dává s replikou letounu inženýra Jana Kašpara, s letounem, který vycházel ze slavného Blériotu 11, Blériota. Účastníky, tak si možná vzpomenete na švédského aviatika Mikaela Karlssona, který tady také s originálním Blériotem létal.
Always a highlight at Aviatitska Port is the demonstration of the Czech Flying Bulls. This year, they performed their full four-ship display with their agile Esbach XA-42. During the display, the pilots are subjected to forces of +7 and -5 times the force of gravity. The team specializes in maneuvers with negative G-forces in close formation, which makes their display unique. Leading the team is Stanislav Sejka, one of 3 Gripen pilots in the team. The team used to be known as Rhombik and later Skybox, before adopting the name Czech Flying Bulls as part of a sponsorship agreement with the Austrian energy drink manufacturer. In 2015, they transitioned from their Zlin 50 to their current aircraft. The Esbach XA-42 first flew in 2008 and is a design of German aerobatics pilot Philipp Steinbach.
ještě jeden okamžik poměrně nižší viditelnost díky dešti.
The show definitely had a strong British theme running through it. On Saturday, this Oster AOP-5 observation aircraft, flown by Jiří Hruška, was bravely programmed as one of the concluding acts of the air display.
Letoun vyřazen z britského královského letectva a dostal se k prvnímu civilnímu uživateli. Náročná renovace u tehdejšího majitele v Švýcarsku. Důvodem, proč vlastně zamontování moderních vlastně leteckých přístrojů. No a tohleto všechno muselo z toho Austru pryč a bylo nahrázeno.
This restored Hawker Hurricane was previously known as P3351 and is now painted in the colors of 310 Czech Squadron. This was its first appearance in the Czech Republic following the acquisition by its new Czech owner and its refurbishment by Hawker Restoration in the UK. The aircraft is owned by the Tetska Museum Tocna. P3351 was the first Hurricane delivered to the squadron in July 1940. The museum at Tocna is located near Prague and operates a fleet of replicas and genuine historic aircraft. Aviatická Pout is among the largest gatherings of classic aircraft in Europe. Reenactment makes up an important part of the show, as this camp demonstrates. Most of the flying display aircraft are parked as part of the static display, which also includes support aircraft. This makes for a highly varied lineup. At the other end of the showground, the Czech military has a significant presence for recruitment purposes. Alongside the Czech military aircraft, CLV also showcases some of its current and past fleet. Visitors could also go for pleasure flights in a helicopter. Local authorities and emergency services also displayed their gear. For the smallest visitors, there is also an extensive fun fair to one end of the public area. Local clubs also showed off their activities in 2 aircraft shelters. No need to go hungry or thirsty either, thanks to the Air Food Festival. Trade stands and a classic car exhibition round off the main attractions of the public terrain. During the morning and during the main afternoon program, there was also a demonstration by Czech security services of different types of their missions. So, as you can see, there's plenty to see and enjoy at this leading Czech aviation event for the entire family. This gorgeous C-47 comes from Switzerland. It belongs to the classic formation team, and it performed a parachutist drop with round canopies like it would have done on D-Day in 1944.
Výsadkáři už máme ve vzduchu, dnes tedy skáčou stejně jako to bylo při tom výsadku z kasy na začátku dnešního letového programu na padácích VP12 SL1. Rádi se samozřejmě.
As you can see from this 5 ship, the Flying Bulls sent over a significant number of their warbirds over from their Hangar 7 fleet at Salzburg in Austria. After this pass, the B-25 and T-28 will break off.
Ten film shromážděný. Tady teď trochu překvapil tím druhým letounem, který tady teď můžeme vidět společně s B-25. Zvyšný letoun North American PA-28B.
The B-25 medium bomber served in all theaters of the Second World War, even the Eastern Front, owing to a Lend-Lease agreement between the USA and the Soviet Union.
Letectva létá mimo jiné i letouny Northrop F-5 Tiger. Osmičky jsou velice oblíbené stroje, dneska létá jich celá řada, nejen ve Spojených státech v soukromých rukou, ale dnes vlastně po Evropě a jeden z nich můžeme vidět i právě tady.
In between the aerobatic formation passes by the World War II Warbird formation, consisting of the P-38 Lightning, F-4U Corsair and P-51D Mustang Nookie Bookie 4, the T-28 flew a Joker routine in the hands of former Swiss Air Force F-18 solo display pilot Nicolas Rosier.
Vlastně poměrně brzy. Takže ještě jeden průlet. 28 a pak už se budeme věnovat spíše té skupině vedené a soustředěná vlastně do té středové gondoly. Byl to letoun, který vlastně přesto, že byl těžší než většina těch tehdejších soudobých jednomotorových stíhaček, ať už šlo třeba o německé Messerschmitty 109 nebo japonská Zera nebo Oscary vítězství, nebo tedy spíše ne všechny dosáhl na Lightningu, ale velkou většinu z nich. No a jeho velký soupeř, jednu z prvních amerických proudových stíhaček Lockheed P-80. No a pokud bychom se bavili o tom konkrétním Lightningu, o tom konkrétním exempláři, Gunner a Flying Bulls, podařilo se ten krásný Lightning zrekonstruovat. Přilétl Siggy Ungerer, zakladatel Flying Bulls, do Salzburgu a od té doby ho létají jediní dva piloti. Jedná se o první letoun, který vlastně vytvořil základ sbírky, původně soukromý letoun Siggyho Ungerera, který poté, co se potkal vlastně s Dietrem Matešicem.
Jan Ratz is coming in for the next display. He is the new Czech Air Force display pilot on their primary fighter, the Saab JAS 39 Gripen. The Czech Air Force is leasing 12 single-seat and 2 double-seat Gripens. They formed 211 Squadron at Saslav, a member of the NATO Tiger Association. He's flying a new paint scheme for the 2025 season, and as you can see, his display also includes firing off infrared decoy flares. The Czech Air Force plans to replace its Gripen fighter jets with the F-35 in 2031, with full operational capability expected by 2035. This transition is facilitated by an extension of the Gripen lease, which will now last until 2035.
Here we see the latest addition to the fleet of CLV, part of the state-owned company LOM PRA, that ensures the training all Czech military pilots from the airfield at Pardubice, the L-39NG. CLV operates 4 L-39NG Skyfoxes with an option for 4 more airframes. The Skyfox is also in service in Hungary now. Joining the L-39NG was the C-11, a Czech license-built version of the Soviet Yak-11 training aircraft. This is operated by the CLV Heritage Flight. The aircraft is owned by the Military Historical Institute from Prague. Over 700 C-11s were built by Let Kunovice. The original Yak-11 entered service in the late 1940s and was based on the World War II Yak-3 fighter. And there was more to come from CLV with this other recent addition to their fleet, the Enstrom 480.
Věci to zase lano napevno připevněné. Dá se s ním dělat opravdu hodně a na to, jakým subtilním dojmem působí, tak je to v celku držák a za těch pár let, co to provozujeme.
This machine is used to train Czech military helicopter pilots. Originally developed to meet the US Army's requirements for a turbine-powered training helicopter, the Enstrom 480 has since earned a reputation for versatility, safety and simplicity.
Téměř 15 let centru leteckého výcviku. Nebyl to špatný vrtulník, ale taky pocházel z 50. let a tudíž spotřeba a i...
Designed and manufactured in Menominee, Michigan, this helicopter blends rugged American engineering with refined performance.
Otáček rotoru rychlosti.
It has a wide, comfortable cabin with side-by-side seating for the pilot and 2 passengers up front, plus a rear bench.
Kromě toho, že byl bojový letec,
The final contribution of CLV to the show at their home base was this Zilin 142, flown by Czech aerobatics legend Martin Sonka, showing the excellent handling of this Czech design to great effect.
Tohle byl sourad. Na Martinovi je vidět, že...
Martin gained worldwide fame as a pilot in the Red Bull Air Race, even winning the title one year.
Tam je základ úspěchu naprosto přesné provádění prvků.
He holds a master degree in aviation management from the University of Pardubice and is a popular aerobatics act at air shows around Central Europe.
A dělat přitom ještě různé prvky akrobacie. Ale to je opravdu sranda, protože
Ty žáci jsou vděční, když vědí, že jdou lítat s takovou...
Developed in Czechoslovakia during the 1970s by Moravan Otrakovica, the Zlín Z-142 is a two-seat low-wing trainer and sport aircraft designed for aerobatics, basic flight instruction and utility flying.
Vývrtka se zad, to je taky nepříjemná situace pro cestujícího hlavně. Pro Martina ne.
Its engine delivers 210 horsepower.
On má spíš problémy.
Its forward-swept wing roots improve cockpit access and visibility, a distinctive Zlín design trait. Over the decades, the Z-142 has trained thousands of pilots across Europe, Africa and Asia and continues to fly today in both civil and military roles.
Svoji první soutěž republiky, mistrovství republiky vyhrál právě na 526. Vidíte to, jak to letadlo musí je hodně natažené, aby letělo vůbec na zádech.
Zlín 381 is a rare and historically significant aircraft that traces its roots to World War II. It is a Czechoslovak-built version of the German Buka Bu 181 Bestmann, a light monoplane trainer used extensively by the Luftwaffe during the war. Originally designed in Germany by Buka Flugzeugbau, the Bu 181 Bestmann first flew in 1939. During the German occupation of Czechoslovakia, aircraft production was taken over by local manufacturers to support the German war effort. One of those manufacturers was Zlín. Under license, Zlín produced the Bu 181 as the Zlín Z181, and after the war, it continued limited production under the designation Zlín 381. These post-war models were either assembled from remaining wartime parts or built new using original jigs and designs. Coming over from Switzerland for a very different type of display are the wonderful classic formation, presenting a C-47 in the lead and 3 Beech 18s joining it, for a unique formation display with some interesting elements such as crossing maneuvers. The C-47 is the military variant of the famous DC-3 airliner that gained fame for its role in liberation operations during World War II and served all over the world for decades after. The Beech Model 18s are classic American twin-engined aircraft that served across the globe from the 1930s well into the 1970s.
Máme tady také v České republice. Je to také součást leteckého muzea Točná.
Known for their versatility, the Beech 18 was used for training, cargo, light bombing and VIP transport.
Neboť americké letectvo potřebovalo obrovské množství cvičných letounů, na kterých by mohlo cvičit posádky více motorových letounů.
In civilian life, it became a staple of early commercial air travel and business aviation.
Létají společně s takovou zajímavé skupinové vystoupení. všechny francouzské Merkur. Tak teď tady ještě průlet. A především ve Spojených státech ještě několik desítek, dokonce existují firmy, které se specializují na udržování těchto letadel v provozu.
What a majestic sight and sound with all these radial engines together in the sky. Haveltitska Po always has a strong focus on reenactment, with aerial elements and ground reenactors interacting in evocative scenarios. On Saturday, the Flying Bulls P-38 and P-51 Mustang gave this impressive demonstration of a ground attack on enemy positions. Sadly, on Sunday, this demonstration fell victim to foul weather, so the ground element that was on the planning to film on that day isn't included in this video. Enjoy these passes by the wonderful Flying Bulls Warbirds without the ground action. Aviatitska Poet 2025 marked the premiere at a European air show of this Avro Anson, a twin-engined marvel of British aviation, which has now joined the fleet of RF Station Czechoslovakia, coming over from New Zealand. The Avro Anson was a workhorse of the Second World War. Designed initially as a coastal reconnaissance aircraft, its true legacy was forged as a multi-engine pilot trainer. This particular Anson was recently put back together by Fast Aerospace in Belgium before joining its new owners of RF Station Czechoslovakia at the Podhorany airfield. It is the only airworthy Anson Mark I in the world. Built at Avro's Yeadon plant near Leeds during 1943, MH-120 was soon issued to the Royal Australian Air Force for use under the Empire Air Training Scheme, arriving at No. 2 Aircraft Park at Bankstown on the 20th March 1944. The aircraft is currently painted as K6183 of No. 206 Squadron RAF. On the 5th September 1939, while operating from Bircham Newton in Norfolk, K6183 was shot down over the sea by a Heinkel HE-115, becoming the first RAF combat loss of the war. Many Czech pilots and aircrew trained on the Anson, some going on to fly the type on anti-submarine patrols with Coastal Command, with others moving on to bombers, in particular the Vickers Wellington. Here we see another former Red Bull Air Race pilot in action. This is Peter Kopstein with his Edge 540, delivering an impressive, unlimited aerobatics routine. Peter started flying in his early 20s and joined the Czech national aerobatic team in 2007. He also flies helicopters in his free time. In 2014, he debuted in the Red Bull Air Race Challenger Cup, progressing to the Master Class in 2016. The Zivco Edge 540 first flew in 1996. It combines a steel tube fuselage with a fully composite wing structure. It can easily take up to 10 times the force of gravity and has a roll rate of 420 degrees per second, making it ideal for these kinds of demonstrations. With a strategic location making it a significant transportation hub, Pardubice is a vibrant city in the heart of eastern Bohemia, situated at the confluence of the Elbe and Krudimka rivers. Beyond its architectural beauty, Pardubice is renowned for its strong industrial base. It also holds a sweet claim to fame as the gingerbread heart of Bohemia. The city is also a cultural hub, an educational center with a leading international university, and features a vibrant commercial center close to its historic heart. Pardubice is also synonymous with sports, especially horse racing. The air show is actually held next to the horse race track. Don't skip this city if you're ever in the neighborhood. Sadly, this helicopter is said to be in its final display season, and it was a popular act at European air shows for a while. The Czech Air Force W3 Sokol. Designed and manufactured by the Polish company PZL Swidnik, the W3 Sokol, which translates as Falcon, first took flight in 1979 and was later introduced into the Czech Air Force, where it has played a crucial role in a variety of missions. The W3 Sokol is a medium-lift, twin-engine utility helicopter known for its versatility, reliability, and adaptability. With a spacious cabin capable of carrying up to 12 passengers, or a combination of cargo and medical equipment, the W3 Sokol ensures flexibility in both military and civilian operations. It is particularly vital in search and rescue operations, where its advanced avionics and night vision capabilities allow crews to operate in adverse conditions. Additionally, the helicopter is used for disaster relief, providing essential aid during floods, forest fires, and other emergencies. In military operations, the W3 Sokol excels in transporting troops and equipment to difficult terrains, making it a key asset for national defense and NATO exercises. The Czech Air Force operates the W3 Sokol primarily from 24th Air Transport Base in Prague-Kabely. This strategic location allows for rapid deployment across the country and beyond, ensuring a swift response to emergencies and operational demands. The base serves as the hub for maintenance and training, keeping the fleet in top operational condition and preparing crews for a variety of challenging missions. Returning to Aviatická Pout was the award-winning Slovenian Air Force PC-9M Hudurnik solo display, flown by Andrej Fiorelli. The PC-9M primarily serves as a trainer aircraft for the Slovenian Air Force. It's used to train pilots in basic and advanced flight maneuvers, weapons delivery, and various other aspects of military aviation. Apart from its training role, the PC-9M can also be utilized for light attack and reconnaissance missions if needed, although its primary function remains training.
Toho, který je mezi vojenskými piloty považován za to největší, a to je RIAT.
It has a modern avionics suite and can simulate various combat scenarios during training exercises. The Slovenian Air Force acquired the Pilatus PC-9M in the early 1990s, following its secession from the former Yugoslavia.
To jeho letecké mistrovství na tomhletom letounu je, jak už jsem říkal, obecně jsou piloti vedle sebe.
The 9 PC-9M aircraft are based at the Čerkliob Krky Air Base, located in southeastern Slovenia. This base serves as the hub for flight training, maintenance, and operational activities of the Slovenian Air Force.
zamlčen stoupáním.
Ugye voltak itt kép, ahol 8 kaják ja. Minden kajákat, jó volt, akkor megszokott a BO 105-ös, akkor elmegyünk a Jánkival itt Bécre, meg itt nem kell.
Here we see Jan Rudzinski ready to join this formation of 3 classic trainers that are certainly appropriate over this training base: Orion PT-22, Backe Jungmann, and Boeing's Stearman. All 3 were intensively used to train pilots during World War II in Germany and the United States.
Tak máme je tady znova. Na čele Orion PT-22 Recruit, na levém sídle Boeing Stearman, na pravém Picker 131 letounů létá.
Following the formation passes, Jan Rudzinski performed an impressive demonstration of the Jungmann's agility, showing why it was also a popular aerobatics aircraft during the 1930s, perhaps the best of the era.
Německou společností Picker povolena celému výrobcům, vyráběl se ve Švýcarsku, vyráběl zpočátku.
This classic British biplane suited the trainer theme at the show very nicely too. During World War II, the de Havilland Tiger Moth was one of the principal training aircraft in the Royal Air Force and therefore also of Czech pilots who joined the ranks of the RAF to fight against Nazi Germany. Just like the Avro Anson we saw earlier, this aircraft also belongs to RAF Station Czechoslovakia. This aircraft was painstakingly restored by Kevin Crumplin. The organization has 2 Tiger Moths in their collection, wearing the colors of number 3 and number 10 flight training schools, 2 units that trained a lot of Czechoslovak pilots.
Létají v celá řada, nejen v Evropě, jich létá ve Velké Británii, létají ve Spojených státech. Zkrátka dodnes jsou rozšířeny po celém světě. Existují firmy, které se specializují právě na opravu, výrobu částí pro tyhle historické letouny. Bez nadsázky se dá říci, že dnes je v podstatě možné vyrobit Tiger Mota obnovy. Ostatně něco podobného by se dalo říci třeba i o letounech P-51 Mustang.
The closing act of the show on Saturday was the Avititska Po-Ut Squadron, a collection of World War I replicas which staged a mock dogfight over the airfield. In action here we see 2 French aircraft, the red Nieuport 11 and camouflage Morane MS-139. They are engaging an Aviatik D1 Berg. This was the first Austrian-designed fighter aircraft to enter production, serving prominently with the Austro-Hungarian Air Force in World War I. Known for its excellent flying characteristics, superior climb performance, and good pilot visibility, it played a significant role in the latter stages of the war.
Tak v té rakousko-uherské podobě se jednalo o velice výkonné spolehlivé stroje pro Ford, který převážně právě na této stíhačce potahem na horním sídle při souboji s italskými letouny během toho úniku střelhavým letem došlo k destrukci té horní plochy, utržení pátna na horní.
Tak, teď tady prolétá znova Nieuport 11.
And with this we have reached the end of this look back at Aviatitska Po 2025. We hope you enjoyed the show despite the weather challenges and thank you for watching. Until the next Air Show Debrief.